Grammar constructions can unite languages, but they can also separate languages. In this study, the English genitive constructions have been studied and compared, in particular to German, but also to Welsh and Swedish. English, German and Swedish are all Germanic languages, and it's been said that the English grammar is the part that most clearly links the language to the Germanic group. But being the westernmost of all Germanic languages, English has been in contact with several other languages, and it's been heavily influenced by two of them in particular. Latin as the language of the church and the universities, and French as the language of the royalty and the aristocracy. Thus, there might be more similarities between German and Swedish than between German and English.
Welsh, on the other hand, is a Celtic language that has been heavily suppressed by the English in the past. Most Welsh speakers are bilingual in English and Welsh today, and the bilingualism, in addition to the geographical closeness to England and the historical events over the last 6 centuries, ought to have brought Welsh closer to English. But even though Welsh has borrowed several English words, its grammar doesn't contain many English constructions. As a Swede learning Welsh through the medium of English, the Welsh genitive constructions required a deeper understanding of grammar in general in order to really grasp when each construction was to be used. And that period sparkled this study at an early stage. The parallel legs corpus was used to provide modern data for the study. To ease the search process, German source texts with English translations and English source texts with German translations were used, as the German genitive construction contained an element that could easily be searched for, the article des, which is used for masculine and neuter nouns in genitive only. Feminine nouns and plural use other articles, but noun gender doesn't matter neither in English nor in Swedish, and thus the use of only masculine and neutered German nouns wouldn't skew the study. The German to English search provided 1,776 examples, and the English to German search provided 2,725 examples of the German article des. That means that approximately 0.5% of the words in the German source texts were des, and that the corresponding number for German target texts were approximately 0.5% as well. As the frequencies of des were similar in both originals and translations, every 40th line from the German originals and every 60th line from the German translations was selected, yielding 44 examples from the German originals and 45 examples from the German translations. These 89 cells were analyzed to find out what English constructions were used as originals for the German translations and as translations of the German originals. The results were a bit surprising at first. In 64% of the English originals and in 45% of the English translations, the English of construction was used. 18% of the English translations used the English apostrophe s construction, but the corresponding number in the English originals was only 4%. Clearly of is used more frequently than apostrophe s. But what of the over 30% that haven't been accounted for yet? 27% of the English originals used other constructions, like premodifiers or prepositions, and the corresponding number in English translations was 30%. In 2 cases among the English originals and in 1 among the English translations, the German des was a result of the preceding preposition während, a preposition that causes the following noun to appear as a genitive. English doesn't have that kind of prepositions, so in these cases there were no use for any English genitive construction. 2 of the German originals didn't have any corresponding English translations, possibly due to the whole section being reworked in the translation process. The arbitrariness of these numbers have been checked in 3 random positions in each examples list by taking 10 unused consecutive examples and verifying that the frequencies in each consecutive row were in line with the frequency numbers of the examples analyzed. Some examples. The middle of the second millennium. Mitte des zweiten Jahrtausends. Andra årtusendets mitt. Mitten av andra årtusendet. Kanal Eil Millennium. Rhythms of Heaven. Rytmus de Himmels. Himlens rytmer. Himlarytmerna. Rhythmai nevoid. The backstage area of life. Backstage-Bereich des Lebens. Livets bakvatten. Ardal Kevin Golad Abowid. The dog breath of the next door's frisky hound. Mundgeruch des frivolen Nachbarshunds. Den ystra grannhundens andedräkt. Annadl a key kema dog bowjog. Beppe Grillos digital reach. Den online-aktiviteten des Beppe Grillo. Beppe Grillos online-aktiviteter. Gweithgareddau ar-lein Beppe Grillo. The country's exposed position. De exponerte läge des landes. Landets exponerade läge. Hle agorred örlad. Your own body's individual features. Die Besonderheiten des eigenen Körpers. Din kropps besynnerligheter. Din kropps särdrag. Arweddai unigal de gorf. The aristocratic preoccupation. Die Beschäftigung des Adels. Adens besatthet. Mer bende viggaith en sönve varjol. Under the codename Operation Tannenberg. Im Rahmen des Unternehmens Tannenberg. Inom ramen för Operation Tannenberg. Drur en orkad Görch Tannenberg. The protagonist in the film. Den protagonisten des kinofilms. Huvudpersonen i filmen. Privaktor film. The Central Committee Plenum. Der Planartagung des Centralkomitees. Centralkommitténs plenum. Kvarvad Puilgar kanallag. There's a possibility to use von or zu in German when the genitive noun would be a place, but otherwise there's no German construction corresponding to the English of. As shown in the examples, there's a similar sounding construction in Welsh, but grammar-wise the Welsh construction is based on word position, as the in the examples is nothing but the ordinary definite article. Latin used structures similar to German, so the English of could hardly be a Latin import. However, French and Spanish have a similar particle grammar-wise, the use of de. There's a fair chance that English imported the grammar construction from French, but used a different particle. Thanks for listening.